Today we're going to be finding out why it is important to be a good citizen. Our vocabulary words are common good, volunteer, and pledge of allegiance. We're going to read lesson 1, getting involved. So let's start by building some background. Suppose you had a problem. Where would you go for help? You would probably go to your family first. Citizens in a community are like a family. If someone has a problem, there are people to turn to for help. Citizens who help each other help their communities. That is because communities work best when citizens work together. At the bottom of the page, we can see different people working together on a project. Good citizens. Do you throw trash in cans instead of on the street? If you do, you are acting for the common good. Acting for the common good means doing what is best for everyone. So they defined the definition common good here in green. Putting trash in cans keeps streets clean. That is good for everyone. It is one way to be a good citizen. So one way of being a good citizen is making sure you throw your trash away. There are many other ways to be a good citizen. One way is to obey laws. You may know that it is against the law to chain bikes to fire hydrants. That is because firefighters would not be able to open a hydrant if a fire broke out. Obeying this law protects everyone in the community. So now we know 2 ways to be a good citizen: making sure you throw your trash in trash cans and following laws. Voting is another way to be a good citizen. People who vote care about what is best for their community and country. Getting involved is another way to be a good citizen. Keep reading to find out how 2 people get involved in their community. So, what are some ways to be a good citizen? Well, you can throw your trash in trash cans, you can obey laws, and you can vote. At the top of the page, we have a photograph of a girl putting on her seatbelt, which is obeying the law. And at the bottom of the page, we have a photograph of people voting. Both of these photos show different ways of being a good citizen. Giving something back. Dale Sherman lives in Medina, Ohio. He works as a volunteer teacher. A volunteer is a person who chooses to do a job without getting paid. So we have our vocabulary word volunteer, and in green we have the definition. Sherman helps people learn how to read. He had a hard time reading when he was growing up. That was back in the 1960s. Reading was still hard for Sherman even as an adult. Then, volunteers in a program called Project Learn helped him learn to read better. Today, Sherman is a teacher at Project Learn. He helps other people learn to read. He also tells children that it's okay to speak out if they have learning problems. When I was young, I did not feel good about myself, Sherman says. Now I'm proud of who I am. So here we have a photograph of Dale Sherman volunteering as a teacher in his community. Exploring technology. Walk at the green, not in between. Garrett Morgan gave something back to communities everywhere. He invented one of the first traffic lights. Morgan's traffic light made it safer for cars and for people crossing the street. His traffic light led to the green, yellow, and red lights we use today. So Garrett Morgan is an inventor who helped his community stay safe by inventing traffic lights. So that helped pedestrians or people who are walking stay safe. And also it helped cars stay safe by knowing when they were allowed to move through intersections or if pedestrians were walking. So there were less accidents. All right, leading the way. Some people serve their communities by getting involved in government. Liz Figueroa is a state senator in Fremont, California. Figueroa believes it is important to get involved and help your community. As a state senator, she works to improve schools. She also works to make sure that all sick people can see doctors, even if they cannot pay for them. Before becoming a senator, Figueroa ran a business that helped hurt workers get jobs. She also raised 2 children. She learned how hard it was for parents to work and to take care of their children at the same time. This helped her decide what laws to work for when she became a state senator. What did Dale Sherman and Senator Figueroa have in common? Dale Sherman and Senator Figueroa both help their community. They serve their community in different ways. Dale is a volunteer teacher, and Senator Figueroa is a senator. She is involved in the government. At the top of this page, we can see a photograph of California State Senator Liz Figueroa talking with students from an elementary school called Independent Elementary School, which is in Castro Valley, California. Sharing and caring. People are never too old or too young to help others. Take Katie Milton, for example. She lives in Tampa, Florida. When she was 8 years old, she collected 50 children's books to give to a housing program in her community. So she was only 8, which is about a 3rd grader's age, and she managed to find a project to help her community, and she collected 50 children's books. So even if you're very young, you can still be involved in helping your community. There are many things you can do to help your community. You can make get well cards for people who are sick. You can collect toys, food, or clothes for people who need them. You can also join a community social group such as Scouts. So here at school, we do a lot of these things usually. We make get well cards for people who are sick. We collect toys and food around the holidays, as well as clothes for people who might need them. And I know a lot of you are involved in groups outside of school, like Scouts and things like that, that also help your community. Being a good citizen means caring about your community. It also means caring about your country. One way people show they care is by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance is a promise to be loyal to our country. So here we have our primary source. The title is Pledge of Allegiance. It was first written by Francis Bellamy in 1892. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So allegiance means loyalty. So when you say the Pledge of Allegiance, you're saying that you will be loyal to the United States of America. And republic is just our country's government. Indivisible means that it will not be broken. So when you're saying the Pledge of Allegiance, you're saying, I will be loyal to our government. All right. And that it will not be broken no matter what. Which words in the Pledge of Allegiance describe the rights of United States citizens? So rights are similar to abstract nouns. They're things that people know and have, but aren't things that you can necessarily see, right? So what should people in the United States have? If you said liberty and justice, then you have the right answer. Putting it together, there are many ways to be a good citizen. One way is to work for the common good of people in your community. That includes obeying laws, voting, volunteering, and serving in the government. Being a good citizen also means caring about your country, working for the common good, makes our country and your community strong. For our activity today, you'll be answering questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in Google Classroom, on your classwork page, is an assignment called Friday 6/11 Getting Involved. And there are review and assess questions. So we have our number 1 says write the definition for each of the vocabulary terms. You're going to go into the text, find the green highlighted definitions, and use those as your sentences. You need to write a complete sentence. Number 2, why is obeying the law important in a community? You'll go back to the page, you'll search for where it talked about obeying laws in the good citizens section, and you'll write an answer in a complete sentence. Remember, you should be reusing words from the question. So you could say, obeying the law is important in a community because, and then explain why. For number 3, it says analyze, which means explain, why it is important to be a good citizen. Why is being a good citizen important? Remember, you are writing a complete sentence. So you would say, it's important to be a good citizen because, and then answer the question. Reuse the keywords from your question. And the final question that you'll answer is, why do some citizens get involved in government? So you'll want to go back to the section on government where leading the way, where it talks about how some people serve their communities by getting involved in government, to find your answer. Once again, you're going to want to reuse words from the question when you're writing your sentences. So you could start, some citizens get involved in government because, and then give your answer. When you are finished this assignment, you are going to go to ChoiceBoard, and you may practice any activity on ChoiceBoard that you are interested in completing. If you have any questions, I'll be able to answer them when we come back on Monday. I hope you have a great weekend.